Yo, what's good, what's hood with y'all? This morning, more rather, this time around, I'm doing something special, man, out here, man, in Baton Rouge, back in my hometown, on the east side of Mayfair right now, you know what I mean? Beautiful east side, heavenly sky, but, outside of me, man, shouts out to my brother Hezeleo, man. I love that you're doing these Trill Stories. And remnants of the Pimp, man. Our brother Chad Butler, man. Pimp C, the mighty UGK for life record. Shouts out to Bond. But yeah, man, it's a Pimp C moment. Let me light my cigarette, y'all, and we gonna get into it. Tell y'all about our brother and my encounters with our brother. Yeah, man, it go way back for me. I met Pimp somewhere in middle 90s or something like that, maybe even the early 90s. We used to talk on the phone. I actually used to go to Crowley, Louisiana all the time and get my hustle on, you know what I mean? Get the shit out here and go to Crowley and hustle. I had a partner used to work with me by the name of Dion Walker from Crowley. Moved to Baton Rouge and started working at Pizza Hut with me. He was a delivery driver. I delivered drive sometime and worked the whole gamut, but mainly a cook and, you know what I mean? Different things like that in Pizza Hut. But Dion daddy was the sheriff for Crowley, so he'll take me to Crowley, Louisiana. I had never been, and start seeing what Crowley was and had no idea. In the years to come, we'll find out. Pimp C original, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it's from Crowley, Louisiana, into PA and Houston. So fast forwarding the tape, I talked to Pimp over the years. If I had a show and we was in Lafayette, Louisiana, if Pimp and Bond was in Lake Charles, I'd get a phone call or somebody come tell me in the crowd, Pimp them down the street here, you urge it on there, and invite you to come to the show. But I'd be 30, 40 deep with my guys, didn't know really what's happening. Everybody trying to, do the transport thing and work it out. So, I come with my guys, I'm going to leave with them, so I couldn't, make one of them times to have the chance to meet Pimp. But later in life, fast forward the tape here again, I was on Priority Records doing my first promo run when we dropped My Balls and My Word. It's like 1998 or something like that. So that's when Pimp had moved to ATL. On that ticket, and the night I had the ATL show, let me get somewhere where it ain't so windy. But at the ATL show, MJG had just went solo with the No More Glory thing, you know what I mean? And we had met each other, bumped heads here and there, over the time. MJG, good brothers and friend of mine, him and 8Ball as well. But he was doing his solo thing, and he was backstage with Thorough from South Circle. I'm cool with those guys, and shouts out to Mr. Mike, you know what I mean? Wicked Ways, Mr. Mike, you know what I mean? But Thorough was there, Twister was there, and a few other guys that was a part of MJG entourage. So, in the midst of that, I'm standing in the audience. Well, no, standing backstage, as a matter of fact, we chilling. Somebody come to me. Hold up a minute. Somebody come to me and say, Pimp wanna holler at you. I say, man, what Pimp? I say, Pimp C, man. That shit, where Pimp at? In Atlanta, where he at? So, he come to me, had on some cut-off shorts, was kind of stalker. This before the penitentiary, and he got a little bigger after the pen. I knew Pimp before then. And he come to me, looked like a young, educated thug instead of a pimp. He wasn't dressed like a pimp. He had on a white T-shirt, all coat white T-shirt. Them little Spectre Man glass he was wearing. And I don't think he had a cap on his head or nothing, but he had some cut-off shorts, was fresh to death. And he come to me, please, what's happening, man? Whoop, whoop. I'm good to finally meet you in the flesh. Like I said, we had a relationship over the phone for years. And eventually, not forgetting, I take it back. Shouts out to Turk and Mail with Trill Entertainment. Actually, Mail introduced me to Pimp on the phone. And later on, Turk introduced me to Bond face-to-face in Baton Rouge, one night. But we talking Pimp. So we had that ongoing phone conversation between me, him, and Mail. Then we'll talk on our own, trying to plug and do different things. And eventually he introduced me to Mama, you know what I mean? Rest in peace, Mama West. And she'll try to work out our dealings. But that night we was together and we could talk face to face. So I'm standing with Pimp, Pimp standing in front of me, few guys with him. And I'm with about 7, 8 guys that came with me on a tour from out of Baton Rouge, my homies. So I saw a look on the Pimp face, was like, hold up, man. Nah, bro, nothing but love, nothing but love. Rest in peace to my cousin Freddie Glasper. Fred was there, and my guys didn't know who Pimp was, so everybody was on Pimp. Like, who is this nigga talking to Bleed? What's happening? And I was like, he said, no, nothing but love, my nigga. And I looked behind him, and I said, nah, y'all chill out this Pimp C, man. You know, that type of thing. Everybody, you know, got off the high horses, and man, Pimp was able to chop it up. And the first thing he said to me, say, Bleed, I got beats, freaks, sweets, and dro in the freezer, man. I stay out here now. Come to the house, nigga, and let's get on something. And man, if I'd have known what I know now, I would have tried to prolong it, but I had that ongoing 2-week tour, you know, with priority, scheduled to keep. And we had to be like in South Carolina the next morning. So, you know, we was driving the cars versus, you know, having the driver the first time. I want to say, probably this the second tour, because the first time, I forget my guy down from priority drove us in a 15-passenger van. But the second time we learned how to ride the wave and laid up there and got us a few cars, so we racing up and down the block having a good time on the tour. I say, Pimp, the thing is, man, I gotta be in South Carolina in the morning, man. I'll sure come with you. So we talked, and you know, he went his way, I went mine. And later on, maybe a couple of weeks or something after that, yeah, I was I wanna say, I confused the time, because it's a couple of times that I did like 2 priority tours. And I want to say this was the second one or something. So it might even been for my own. You know, we still were running with balls in my word. I was still making my own. That's what it was. And Too Short had been a big brother and friend of mine since he had come to Baton Rouge years ago. Then I see him in California when I was out, when Ann Banks was dropping sitting on something fat album. Ann Banks was on priority too, so Short had been there with him. So, you know, we all the kicking and, you know, chop it up, that type of thing. But mentioning Short had moved to Atlanta. And we had talked about doing a record together. So we drove out, you know, one night and recorded with Short. But on my way there, I was calling Pimp. This was after the fact, because I was calling him and saying, say, Pimp, you still in the A? I'm on my way down the slab, man. You know, I'm finna do this record with Too Short called Time and Money. And I want to put you on the record, me, you, and Short. He said, Bleed, I'm on my way to H-Town. He said, we probably gonna pass each other up the slab. So I'm sure we did. I didn't know what he was driving in. He didn't know, you know, both sides of the interstate, what I was in. So I said, all right. He said, tell Short, I say, what's happening? So I get there, I say, Short, Pimp say, what's happening? He said, you know, that's who I want to put on the record. Short say, that's who you put on the record. So the Time and Money, if you know the Too Short Time and Money record on my own album, Pimp C was supposed to be on that record with us, but later on, Pimp called me and said, Bleed, before I finished that record, I had like 12 different tracks and was trying to hurry up and turn that into priority and get prepped for the next tour and the next album and so on and so forth. When Pimp called me, y'all, Pimp said, Bleed, I produced your whole album for 10 grand. But I know what I know now, y'all. I would have scrapped everything I had, or at least put that on another project and started over with the Pimp, you know, due to his untimely demise. So for years, we always talked about it's a few guys that I deal with and sign with and come in with independently. And he was one of them guys, as well as a C-Bo and Big Mike, and all of us worked together, all of us brothers, you know what I mean, in that sense. So, you know, I lost out on that opportunity, but what took place, you know, rewinding the tape a little, when I was finishing my balls and my word, Pete and them called me to the studio in the middle of the night. And Pete was turning in the record like the next day, but he wanted to substitute 3 or so songs on my album to add more, you know, No Limit affiliation, Beats by the Pound, a couple of records that, you know, he rapped on for me. And he let me kind of go through and get the pick of the litter far as what was in the Beats by the Pound vault, No Limit vault. And one of them songs was a song called Bring the Noise. And I had no idea who produced it, who did what. But, you know, of course, you know what I mean, world famous, Mystical started it off, P rap in the middle, and it had a blank third verse. I was like, man, what's up with that? P said, you like that? I said, yeah. He said, you can have it. And so I put my third verse on there, and everything will happen in the future where Pimp will go to the pen and all that. So we'll talk in and out, me and Mama still trying to negotiate and put something together with us between the shows and the records.